I think that's what's happening next week. But I guess they'll tell us this weekend. All right, so let's see. So the next week y'all have Friday off and you have the 11th off next week. And then you have one full week and then one day it looks like the announcements came out the other day and it said that the 24th was like a makeup day. And then the 25th, 26th, 27th would be Thanksgiving. So I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought we were going to have to go on the 23rd and the 24th. But so maybe we can do something fun on the 23rd. Y'all be thinking of something we can do. All right. Y'all go ahead. I'm still waiting on two people. So go ahead to Google Classroom. There's a lot of stuff out there. I think I had two people, Landon and Cole. I hope y'all watched the video because we did a little bit of review, on Monday. So my manual says his link is not working. Why does that always happen to him? So go ahead and do your warm up. And notice one of them is a 2 minute. So look at that instead of a 1 minute. So go ahead and do that and just go ahead and get your keyboarding tracker updated so you don't have to think about it anymore. So I'll give y'all a couple minutes to do that. You want to try a turkey? I like that idea. I'm gonna type with y'all on my other little computer. No manual. Or Axel. Is Axel in here? No, it's always here. There's Axel. Hey, Axel, they've been doing their warm-up, so if you just want to hold off and do that at the end of class before your next class, that'll be fine. I'm sure they're just about done. There's a manual. What happened, Emmanuel? Were you using the one in Google Classroom?
No, it worked.
Oh. All right, well, you can wait, Emmanuel, and do your warm-up at the end. It's out there in Google Classroom, okay? You can just wait and do that because they're just about done. But just don't forget to do it, okay? So you can go ahead and update your keyboarding tracker. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and just go over what we have in Google Classroom today and what we're gonna get done. All right, what'd y'all think about a 2-minute warm up? Were your fingers tired? All right, so I'm gonna be checking the keyboarding tracker on Sunday night, so make sure you get that updated if you don't get it done today. And then we're also gonna turn in what we started on Monday today. Everybody should have already turned in the computer skills formulas and functions practice we did together on Monday because we finished that in class. But I told you if you still wanted to look at it before you turn it in, I mean, you still have time. You can go back and watch the video from Monday or whatever. So it looks like I've got 10 people that have turned it in and 7 people who haven't. So just make sure you go in there and check to make sure what we did on Monday, the formula and function practice, that you finish that and get it turned in, all right? And then let's see. We watched our motivational video on Monday, the old kid president, remember? And today we're gonna watch a video on why spreadsheets are so awesome. If I can make my YouTube work.
I've been obsessed with belts for a long time. I wear a belt every day, and there was like 3 things that always drove me crazy about belts. You have all these holes, but you only use one of them. This big flap hanging off the front, and it usually...
Before we get started, I want to take a second and talk about why I think spreadsheets are so awesome. Now, rest assured, if you are dying to dive into spreadsheets and you don't want to hear me talk about why spreadsheets are so awesome, you can safely skip this video and you're not going to miss anything essential, I promise you. So go ahead and do that if you need to. But I think spreadsheets are really, really awesome. And it's kind of a weird thing to say. It's not because I'm a huge geek, and even though I'm kind of am a geek, it's not because of that. It's actually because I actually think that spreadsheets are really awesome. They let you offload that boring administrative calculations, all that kind of really, really boring work. It lets you offload all of that to a computer, okay? And when you offload, because here's the thing, we're not really good at calculations. Human beings are not that good at doing calculations. They're certainly not good at doing calculations in their head, okay? I mean, unless you are an actual human calculator, which actually was a thing in like the 19th and early 20th century, believe it or not, that actually was a real thing. But for most normal people, we're not really good at keeping all this information in our heads. We're not good at doing calculation and math in our heads, and we're not good at organizing lots of data in our head. We're not really that great at it. Computers, on the other hand, are super, super good at that, okay? And spreadsheets in particular are one of the easiest tools that we can use to get a computer to organize stuff for us, okay? The trick is just getting through that learning curve so that you can learn how to use a spreadsheet effectively. What are we good at that computers aren't good at? We are good at creativity and imagination and all that fun stuff. And plus, that's kind of the fun stuff too, right? Like that's the stuff that we enjoy doing. So my philosophy is this: why not have a computer do all the stuff we're not good at, like the boring administrative calculation work, and use our brains for more of the fun stuff, right? Fun. Well, maybe not too much fun, but like all the fun kind of creativity and problem solving stuff and all that stuff that makes us human, okay? Computers cannot do that, but we can do that. And so let's focus on doing that. Now, the reason I love spreadsheets is because spreadsheets are just a great mechanism to allow us to take advantage of what computers are good at and at the same time focus our energies as humans on the stuff that we are good at, which is imagination. And I know that sounds kind of weird, right? Because we think most people think of spreadsheets as being like this, this one of the most boring business applications there is, but I don't see it that way. I see spreadsheets as actually being incredibly empowering. And I really hope that by the end of this course you do too. So that's my goal. It's a very lofty goal, I admit, but I hope that you feel the same way by the end of this course. So that's it. That's the end of my lecture on why I think spreadsheets are so awesome. In the next in the next video, I'm going to talk about what you need to get started, okay, in learning spreadsheets, what you need to get started and what you need to be able to be successful in this course. And then we're going to take it from there. We're going to dive right into learning how to use spreadsheets. So thank you so much for listening to this. I hope that this was helpful to you, and I will catch you in the next video.
So see, spreadsheets are created not to make your life miserable, but to help you have more fun. See, isn't that an awesome idea? And everything that we're doing in these next few spreadsheets when I sent you the 4 sheets for you, everything that I'm asking you to do in there, you've done before. So don't feel overwhelmed. Do one thing at a time. And just get in there and click stuff. If you click something and mess it up, just hit undo or delete what you've done and try again. But I want y'all to try to get in there and be hands-on and try these on your own. So let me go back to Google Classroom and read today. All right, so the 4 sheets for you, everybody, we opened those on Monday. So once you opened those, it made a copy for you. So if everybody that was here on Monday, you should have already started working on that one because we worked on it for about like 8 or 9 minutes at the end of class. So go to your Google Drive and look for it. It should be under your recent files. For some reason you didn't open it on Monday or you weren't here, you may need to go ahead and click on it. It's in classwork right here. And it says 4 sheets for you, and there's 4 sheets in this one right here. All right, so whenever you open that one and you see the 4 sheets at the bottom, those are the 4 sheets I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to let you guys work for like 10 minutes. The first 3 sheets have directions on them for you to follow, okay? After the first 10 minutes, I'm going to share my screen so you can check your numbers to make sure that your functions look right and that everything's entered correctly. And then the last sheet, and then I'll let you work again if you still need to check the numbers for the second one and the third one. And then the last sheet is payroll, and we're going to work on that one together, okay? All right, so like I said, you can do this. We worked on spreadsheets for 3 weeks, and now it's time for you to get in there and click this stuff and you can make it happen. All right, so we're going to finish this today. So everybody open up your 4 sheets for you from your Google Drive. And in this first sheet, we worked on this first one together already. Here are your 4 instructions. And I have the answers right here for the 3 functions that you needed to work on, and my chart should be coming up in just a second. So if you are done with this one, you can move on to the next one. And then once you finish utilities, you can move on to budget. Let's just focus on spreadsheets today, Rose baby. All right, so I'm going to give y'all about 10 minutes before I show you the next one, okay?
Why does my chart still say no progress?
It says what?
It says no progress.
Did you highlight all of this information right here? Start with state and go down to the last number on Virginia.
Let me try that one more time. And then what do I do?
What do you mean? When you're done with this one, you can go on to utilities.
No, like then what do I do once I highlight all the stuff?
Oh, then you go to insert chart.
Okay, so I delete that one and insert another one.
Yeah. Then you can just click on it and hit delete on your keyboard. They're pretty easy to get rid of.
There it goes.
Yay.
I don't get what it means by just find the sum of the monthly income in cell C4.
Did you finish utilities already?
Yes.
All right, so you're on budget. So you're going to go to C4 and you're just going to add up these two numbers right here in this cell right here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little confusing because normally we put it right underneath, but you're going to put it off to the side a little bit.
So utilities is which one
That's
is
sheet two.
utilities?
That's sheet 2 at the bottom.
Okay.
No, the pie chart doesn't have to be that big, Brooklyn. Landon, the average is just like you do the sum, but instead of clicking the word sum, you're going to click the word average. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second on this one. And I'm gonna work on utilities so that way y'all can see and check. Landon, once you hit average, then you have to go in and highlight the numbers that you want it to average, which would be the same numbers that you had to add up. And then Emmanuel, the instructions are in the spreadsheet, just like they are in the other one. All right, I'm going to share my screen again for utilities. So numbers and check your.
The last one doesn't give me any instructions.
No, it doesn't, because that's the one we're going to do together. So right now you should be checking your numbers for utilities and make sure everything's right, and check your chart too. Oh, sorry, y'all. I'm just not scrolled up all the way. Landon, to add the states to the pie chart, let me go back to membership real quick. All you have to do is highlight them before you make the chart. So you highlight all of that, all the names of the states and the members, and then you make your chart. Are you talking about utilities, Brooklyn? the total. That's just sum. These are just sums. The sum function. So you do the sum function here, and you do the sum function here, and then you just drag them across or you drag it down. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing again for a second so I can get the budget up and ready so you can look at it.
Why is yours a column chart?
That's just the one that came up whenever I made it. It was automatically a column. I mean, it, you know, whichever one comes up for you is fine. 1381. Let me look at it, Brooklyn. All right, hold on, Brooklyn. Let me share my screen real quick on that one, on utilities, one more time. So for utilities, you just have the sum of all of these numbers. So in that first one, G2, it's just the sum of B2 over to F2. And then you just drag that down. All right, I'm gonna share my budget so you can see it. I went in and made all of them currency just because it says use formatting features to make them look more professional. So I just made them currency. When I did, it made my columns a little bit too small, so I changed them. But it says find the sum of your monthly income in cell C4. So you add those two together. And then it says find the sum of your expenses in C19. So this is the number you should get there, adding all of your expenses. And then it tells you to find your disposable income. So this is the money you have. And then C19 is the money you spent. So you're going to write a formula right here to subtract those two. And this is what you should have left over. And then the pie chart is just your expenses. So you would highlight just the expenses, not the total, and then make a pie chart. Let me zoom out a little on this one so we can see most of it at the same time. There we go.
Hey, Miss Warren,
Mhm.
where do I find all the other like spreadsheets stuff like the one that you're on right now?
They should be at the bottom of your. Do you have the first one open? Membership?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, they should. Yeah, there should be right beside it at the bottom. Utilities, budget, and payroll. Do you see all four of them down there? Just like how when we made our keyboarding tracker, we did a quarter one and a quarter two.
No, ma'am, I do not see that.
At the bottom down here, you don't have four sheets?
Just that one that we started.
I mean, they all should be the same. I only have one out there. They're all down here at the bottom, and each one of them is named something different, and there's four different ones. Who's that? Who was that asking me? Landon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me look and see if I can look at yours on Google Classroom. I can see them on your screen. Do you have something at the bottom of your screen that might be blocking right here? Blocking this down at the bottom? Because I'm looking at your first one, your first sheet, and it looks fine. You got the chart and everything looks good, and the rest
I
of the
see it
sheets.
now, ma'am.
Okay, good. I was worried. I was like, what in the world could be happening? Because it's hard to delete them. All right, I'm gonna give you just a couple more minutes on this one. Does anybody need me to go back and look at utilities or membership again? In a couple minutes, we'll start on the payroll one. All right, so if you're not quite finished with the first three yet, no worries. You have until Sunday night at midnight. Let's go ahead and look at payroll real quick. Everybody together. The first thing I want to do is I want to highlight our hourly rate and our hours worked, all of the numbers you see right there, and make them currency. So they're all money. All right, so we're going to write just a few formulas right here. Have y'all ever heard the words gross pay before? It's gross because that's what you don't really get. That's the money that you make, like when you get a job, that's the money that you make before they take taxes out on you. So I always say that's why it's gross, because you never really see that money. So let's look at the first guy, Adrian. All right, he makes $25 an hour. Pretty good, right? And he works, oh, these are hours worked. These aren't supposed to be money. Look at there. All right, I'm going to highlight all the numbers under hours worked and take that off. So I'm going to go to format and number and make it number and not currency. So hourly rate is money, not the hours worked. All right, so again, we're just going to look at the first guy. All right, so the first guy makes $25 an hour and he worked 40 hours. All right, so how do you find the gross pay? Do you add, multiply, divide, or subtract? Anybody, yell it out at me.
Multiply.
Got it, Zeke. That's exactly right. So we are going to multiply those two numbers together. So I'm going to go to cell E4 and do equals. just type a little equal sign in E4. And then my formula is going to be equals C4 times D4. He's getting $1,000.
That didn't work.
All right, try it one more time. Delete what you got in there and try it one more time. Do equals. Let me zoom in a little bit because you can see my formula up at the top. It should be an E4 equals C4 times D4, and you should get 1,000.
Nope.
What'd you get?
It just says hashtag name.
It said value for me.
All right, so look back in that cell in E4 and look up at your formula bar up at the top. Does it say equals C4 times D4?
Oh, C4. I thought you said B4.
Yeah, no. See, B4 is where the word is. So we got to make sure it's the actual number. C4 times D4. What about yours, Zeke?
I got $65.
Did you multiply? It looks like you added those together. Multiply with a little asterisk.
How do you multiply?
Shift 8. It's the asterisk button.
I did, but it
Oh,
didn't.
shift 8.
Mm-hmm. That's how you multiply.
Okay. Now it says 1,000.
Sweet. Now, do I have to write this formula for every single person?
Yes.
No, all I gotta do is drag it down. So just click on that little box in the right-hand corner, and it will give you a number for every single person.
That's cool. Oh.
All right, so right here, SS and FWT, those are both different types of taxes. One's Social Security tax and one's federal withholding tax. I just put those in there because, you know, those are just some of the normal taxes that happen. We're just going to put some numbers in. I want you to type 25 in F4, and I want you to type 55 in G4. So let's just pretend that's what's going to come out of his check. So if that's what's going to come out of his check, how do I find out how much he's really going to get paid? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. So if these are coming out of his paycheck, do we add, subtract, multiply, or divide?
Yeah.
That's exactly right. We're going to subtract
Double
these two from that number. All right, so watch this formula. It's a little tricky. All right, so I'm going to go underneath net pay, and that's H4, and I'm going to do equals E4, which is what my check should be before taxes, and then I'm going to subtract F4, and then you have to hit subtract one more time, and then G4, and hit enter. You should get 920.
920.
All right, now watch this. This is the best part of the day. All right, so we got a couple minutes left. We're gonna finish this one up. I want you to highlight F4 all the way across to H4. So you're gonna select those three numbers, 25, 55, and 920. And then once you highlight those three numbers, then I want you to click on the little box, just like we normally do, and drag it down.
That's so cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Not that cool.
Zeke doesn't love spreadsheets. Ah. Either you love them or you don't. It's like being good at English or math. Some people like them, some people don't. I love them. All right, that is all we have for today. So if you need to go back and watch this video and watch how we did payroll, feel free. You have until Sunday night to turn it in, so don't forget, okay? We finished that thing up just in time. If you got everything right, y'all can go ahead and turn it in, okay?
Bye.
All right, I'll see y'all next week. Bye.